well away from all that unpleasantness. And yet, when it came time to bid the old year adieu, with everyone gathering at dusk for the holiday meal while random bursts of firecracker noise filled the streets, he still felt the weight of worries he couldn't quite figure out. He joined Shu Hui's family for the New Year's Eve dinner, then invited his friend to see a film with him. The cinema ran a late show during the holiday break, and they stayed to the end of the double bill. Watching midnight movies on New Year's Eve was a peculiar experience. All that seasonal jollity, with a twinge of loneliness in the middle. The factory had only a 3-day holiday, but their usual lunch place took 5 days off. He and Shu Hui went there, on their first day back, but the doors were shut. They turned around and headed back through streets strewn with the red paper shells of burnt-out firecrackers. When they passed a half-open restaurant, Shu Hui suggested going in. The owners had not yet held their New Year's opening ceremony, with blessings from the god of wealth, so the shop front was still half-blocked by shutters, and the interior was dim. There wasn't much business so close to the holiday, but a young woman in an old gray sheepskin coat sat at a table facing the door. She had a teacup and chopsticks and was waiting for her food to come. To pass the time, she was rubbing her red-gloved fingers in slow circles, 2 fingers running down the opposite forefinger, along the inside of the thumb, then back again. "Oh, Miss Gu! You're here too!" Shu Hui called out the moment he saw her. He started to sit down at her table, then saw Shi Jun hanging back. "We're all co-workers, you know. Haven't you met before? This is Shen Shijun. This is Gu Manzhen." She had a round face that seemed squarish inside the roundness, not four-cornered, but distinct, well-defined. Her hair was ruffled and loose, falling over her shoulders in a casual style. Shijun wasn't in the habit of assessing a girl on some sort of beauty scale. He simply liked the way she looked. She thrust her hands into her coat pockets and smiled. The 2 young men pulled out a bench, only to find that the red-painted seat was black with grime. Shijun didn't care. He was grimy too, from working on machinery. But Shu Hui, trim and tidy in a business suit, gave it a sharp look before sitting down. The waiter came over, bringing 2 teacups that he held with his fingers stuck inside them. Shu Hui noticed and frowned. "This place is no good at all. So dirty." The waiter poured the tea, and they each ordered a meal. Shu Hui had an idea. "Hey there," he called to the waiter. "Bring us some paper so we can wipe the chopsticks clean." But the waiter was already out of earshot. "Wash them in the tea," Manzhen suggested. "I don't think you'll want this tea anyway." She swished his chopsticks around in the tea, dried them with a single firm shake, and balanced them across his teacup. Then she reached over to do the same for Shijun. "Oh, you're too kind," Shijun protested, with a half-bow of thanks. After she'd washed his chopsticks, he took them from her and thanked her again. Manzhen kept her gaze lowered, never looking at them directly, but she smiled quietly. After he'd taken the chopsticks from her, Shijun put them down again. Then he saw his mistake. He'd put them on the table, which could seem ungrateful, or even impatient, as if he thought her overly fussy. Quickly, he picked up the chopsticks and, following her lead, balanced them across his teacup. He lined them up precisely. Of course, once the chopsticks had touched the table, they were dirty again, so now he was just trying to cover up his error. A wave of embarrassment swept over him. To hide his confusion, he picked up his soup spoon and swished it in the tea. At this point, the waiter brought their food. They each had a bowl of clam soup. Shijun took a spoonful and remarked, "Clams at New Year. I'll bet it's for good luck. They're yuanbao, little lumps that look like a stack of coins." "Clams are money mounds," Shu Hui agreed. "And so are taro cakes, and flour-wrapped dumplings, and egg-wrapped dumplings too. Even fresh fruit and tea eggs can be money mounds. Apparently, we Chinese are obsessed with money, since everywhere we look we see yuanbao." "Oh, but it goes